money from friends, family, co-workers. She even takes loan from her workplace, all to finance the lifestyle of Louis Otenno. This was totally ridiculous. It became even bad to the point that Karen stole from her father, Mr. Uzziah Kili, and that was kind of like the reason for the family meeting a day before she was found dead. When Mr. Uzziah Kili, Karen's father, learned that 4 million shillings had been stolen from him by Karen, he told the family that Karen stole 4 million from me. That was going on with Karen. And that was when he learned from other family members that Karen had been borrowing money and promising to pay back. And that kind of bothered him, and because of that, they had to hold a family meeting for Karen to ask how she's doing this. At this point, still, they all knew that Karen had something with Otenno. Otenno was famous. So if Karen is hanging out with someone that famous, members of the family would know. So when the family gathered around, they realized that Karen had been giving this man the money, and they are like, what is happening? It's unclear the details of the meeting, but in the meeting, Karen was confronted, and she eventually opened up to the family that Otenno was the one making her get this money, that Otenno kept pressuring her to get this money, that at the point, he was even trying to blackmail her to get this money, that he was the one putting pressure on her, and that he had promised to pay back, and the family opened their eyes to let her know that this man is using. The family opened their eyes to let her know that this man is using your head. This man is only using you. This man doesn't have any plans of paying you back. He's just using you to get what he wants. And that was when Karen's eyes kind of opened. She realized that
in Hollywood, their unbelievable love story, including their very unusual first date, the struggles they face, and the joy they are always happy to share. Jeff and Susan Bridges have built one of Hollywood's most enduring marriages, and it all started in 1975 when he was making a movie, Rancho Deluxe, in Montana. He was shooting a scene in the hot tub at a place called Chico Hot Springs when he first saw his future wife. North Dakota native Susan was waiting tables there to pay for college.
And I cannot take my eyes off this gorgeous, I didn't know when she was a maid or a waitress, I couldn't take my eyes off, a gorgeous girl.
Not only was she gorgeous, but she had 2 black eyes and a recently broken nose from a car accident, he later learned. Something about her beauty and disfigurement kept Jeff riveted. Every time he snuck a peek, she'd catch him. I knew I was madly in love with my wife the minute I saw her, Jeff told Conan O'Brien on his late-night show. Bridges admitted asking Susan out wasn't the easiest thing, and that once he finally got the courage, she said no. However, she added that it's a small town and she might see him around. Those words proved to be prophetic. She came to the wrap party and we danced and fell in love and boom, that was it, he said. The next day, Bridges had a meeting scheduled with a local real estate agent who was going to show him some property, and he invited Sue to come along. That was their official first date. The future couple went to look at a ranch house on the river. As they were walking around, there was a voice in Jeff's head going, "You are now looking at a house with your future wife." And I thought, oh no, let me out of here. The actor felt cornered, not by Sue, but by himself. He couldn't bear to let the love of his life slip through his fingers, but at the same time, he was afraid of declaring, "This is the one." I was crazy in love, but I came from such great parents and didn't know if either Sue or I had that in us. After filming Wrapped, she moved back to California with Jeff. Although Jeff and Susan Bridges have been happily married for 44 years, there was once a time when the actor was terrified of commitment. According to Bridges, it was love at first sight, but getting to the altar was quite tough. When he was young, Jeff thought marriage was a giant step toward death.
What is wrong? I say, nothing of it. She says, please tell me. I say, I have this terrible feeling that I'm supposed to ask you to marry me now, and I'm just so frightened. She says, well, you don't have to do that. I said, good, let's get the out of here. Ah!
I don't know how it is for women or other guys, but when I was young and in my 20s, I had a fear of marriage. He wrote in Reader's Digest back in 2006. So he did everything in his power to resist it. The idea was just frightening to him. But when Susan told him she wanted to get married and start a family, he just knew what to do. I said, oh God, I can't let this woman go, Jeff said. I had this vision of an old guy thinking there was this girl from Montana. Man, why didn't I marry her?
So I got down on my knees, so you marry me? She says, okay, when? I said, well, how about Thursday? Today's Monday, how about Thursday? She says, what about Fridays? Okay. Well, Saturday. What about Saturday? Okay. So we called up our friends. They came and.
They were married just 5 days after he proposed on June 5th, 1977. 2 years after they met, the couple tied the knot and are now the proud parents to 3 daughters, Isabel, Jessica, and Haley, and grandparents to Grace and Ben. According to the Daily Beast, they've also worked on 50 movies together. Wow, that is impressive. While it required a leap of faith, that all worked out. What you don't know until you get married is that you think all the other doors close, which is true, but this doorway you opened is a hallway lined with all these other brilliant doors. Kids, deeper intimacy, adventures, and everything else, Jeff said. After Jeff and Susan had been married for about 10 years, the actor received an unbelievable photo in the mail from a Rancho Deluxe crew member. He got a letter from the makeup artist, who said he took 2 pictures of the moment the future couple first spoke to each other. Aww, how romantic is that? Wouldn't you want to have such a memento from the first time you met your love? Bridges keeps one in his wallet to this day. Somebody just took a picture of that, and I have that, he said. Last year, Jeff teamed up with his daughter, Isabel, for a new children's book, Daddy-Daughter Day, which she wrote and he illustrated. The book is about a dad and daughter who go on a series of adventures and is based on the close bond Bridges has with his girls. Isabel says her parents' marriage has served as an inspiration to her. They love each other, but they like each other. They spend time together. They make an effort to ask each other questions about what the other is interested in, she revealed. Jeff himself says that his marriage is getting better and better every year. But that doesn't mean it was always easy. The pair used to fight often, but eventually developed a simple solution for improving their communication. They simply chat about what's bothering them, letting the other talk until they've finished, with no interruptions. We are quite different as people, and we celebrate that rather than making it drive us apart. I respect her wisdom, and I'm sure the girls do too, says Bridges. I've really been blessed. They have often been asked about the secret of longevity in a Hollywood business that is notorious for breaking up relationships. So what is the secret to their 44-year marriage?
Why does it work?
Well, we don't get divorced, man.
How do you describe her?
Well, look at her, man. She's just gorgeous, and she's so powerful, and she's a lot different than I am.
According to the actor, when certain challenges, upsets, come up in a relationship, they are real opportunities to get to know each other more and to become more intimate with each other and try to see what makes each other tick. Cheating and divorce just aren't for him, Bridges says. If you change partners every time it gets tough or you get a little dissatisfied, then you don't get the richness that's available in a long-term relationship, he said. My wife supports me and it makes me love her more. We've been doing this so long, and we care for each other so much that our relationship is the most precious thing for both of us, Bridges says. He's also learned so much from his wife. For instance, Bridges is often frightened of getting involved in new projects, and Sue will remind him, hey, you always get like this when you're asked to do something new, and he'll say, you're right, that's just what I do. It's a simple thing. She shows him another way of looking at something.
You know, she supports me being who I want to be, you know, and being an actor.
The famous star was undoubtedly facing one of